Okay, in lesson number 3, part 1, we have discussed how to insert list in our web page, ordered list, and unordered list, and the definition list. All those lists can be inserted to our web page using the relevant text. Okay, and then next one is how to set a color, how to set colors in our web form. In our web page, we can define our color using basic colors. You know what are basic colors? Red, green, and blue. All right. So these color values can be specified using the following formula. That means that first of all, you can specify the red, and then green and blue. Right. So you have to follow this order. All right. So each parameter define the intensity of the color. All right, that intensity range is 0 to 255. That means we can set any value between 0 to 255, right? So actually when you set that intensity of the color, you have to follow this particular order. First one is intensity of the red, and then next one is intensity of the green, and the finally intensity of the blue. All right, so when you set the intensity, we have to use hexadecimal number system. I think you know this number system, right? So if it's decimal number system, that intensity range is 0 to 255, which map to 00 to FF in hexadecimal number system. FF means 255. All right. So for example, if you want to set the color red, then here the value for R is should be 255. If it is in hexadecimal number system, it should be FF, and the intensity of green is 0, it is 00, and the next one is 00, right? So that means you need 2 digits in hexadecimal number system to represent 255. So we should have a 6 number of digits in hexadecimal number systems when you set values for colors, right? So for example, if you want to set the color for say yellow, you have to set the intensity of red is FF and green is FF. Right, that is full intensity of the red and full intensity of the green, then blue is 0. So if you want to set the color blue, then the intensity of red is 0, intensity of green of 0, and the intensity of blue is full intensity, that is the maximum intensity level of the blue FF in decimal number system, that is 255. So this is the color green, right? That means you have to set the intensity of red is 0, and the last 2 digits, that is intensity of blue, that is 0, and the middle two middle digits, that is digit, should be F and F, right? So which means the intensity of the green is maximum, right? Likewise, we can set uh, varieties of the we can set number of color levels, right? So using this 6 digits, right? So if it is a red, you have to set its highest value. If it is blue, we have to set its highest value. Likewise, we can set colors in our web page. All right, so let's see how to use that. Now I have this web page, right? Then I save this one as say HTML colors, HTML, say colors.html. Then I can set color for this body of this web page. All right, so I take the same web page that I have in our definition list. All right, so in here definition list, I think it's better to use these colors for body. Even if you want, you can use we can set colors for fonts as well. Let's see that is in later, right? So for the time means we know how to how to set the color to the body or the background, of the web page. So if you want to set the color for the background, we have to set the we can use there's a attribute called bg color. All right, so there's an attribute called bg color in body type. We can set color in here. All right, so if you want to set it, okay, then we can set say if I want to set color red, then red is ff, and then green is 0, blue is 0. Then I save this, then I open this web page. So here I have a page called html colors. Now you can see the background of the web page is red. So if you want to what to call reduce this intensity of the red color, then for example here I can say 1 1 1 1. So that is the another intensity. Then I replace this here. Now the color will uh, change to black, right? So if you put 0 0, that is pure black, right? If you say 0 0, that is red is 0, blue is 0, green is 0, blue is 0. So all are 0, which means the color black, right? This is black. If you set all are say red is ff, that is the maximum intensity of the red. Green is ff, that is the maximum intensity of green. Blue is ff, that means this is the maximum intensity of the r, g and b. Then I save this, then I refresh the web page. Now you can see the background color is white. Then the minimum intensity is 0 0 0 0 0 0, which represent black. This is the maximum intensity, that is white. This is color, that is color range from black to white. So if you say say red is say 9 9, then G is 0 0, blue is 0 0. Then save this. Then this is some kind of a red color, right? So if you want maximum intensity or pure red, that should be ff. If you put say 5 5, then this is something like this. Likewise, we can change the color intensity, right? Red is 0 0, then say green ff. This is pure green. All right. So if you put say 0 0, blue is ff, like this. All right. So colors are changed from uh, black to white. All right. So here we can set the intensity levels. All right. So that's about the HTML colors. And then we can have next one is HTML comments. So why do we use comments? All right, so these comments are not displayed by the browser. That means when it renders, the web page is rendering by the web browser, right? So at the time of rendering, the web browser is ignored the HTML comments, right? That this will help document reading. All right, so with the comments we can place the notification and reminders in our HTML code. Right, so why do you use this code? Likewise, right? So we can add comments to our HTML source code by using the following syntax. All right, so first of all you can start the comments something like this, that is exclamation mark 2 dash, then you can put a comment and 2 dash and the close in the comment. All right, so for example like this, right? So for example I'll say, so this is for heading, right? This h1 tag for heading. Then for example in here I can put a comment. All right, exclamation 2 dash, well, this is level 1 heading. Then I put 2 dash and close the comment. Right, so this will be ignored by the web browser when it's the rendering. Right here you can't see that comment in here. So for the time being I put 00, and then it should become white background color. Sorry, not 00, FF. Right, so I put FF, FFF. All right, okay. Now you can't see the comment in our web page. Right, so this is comment. Right, so this will be help to reading our HTML source code. Right, so this is used to read the HTML source code. So in likewise, so this is for definition list. Likewise, we can put comment, right? So in here or there, right? So the beginning we can set. So this is for here something like this, definition list, like this definition list, right? So here we can't see the comments, right? Okay, the next one is uh, text and text formatting. Text and text formatting. Okay, the next one is text and text formatting. So here we can have a tag called font tag, right? So font tag represented by the word called font, right? So opening and closing font tag is there. So these tags can be used to format our text in our web page, right? So this can be used to control the font color and font type, such as it may be a Arial or Garaman or Times New Roman, likewise, right? So in font tag, actually we can have a attribute called color. Then we can have attribute called face. Then there's attribute called size. So we can control all those things in font formatting, right? Something like this. Font, then we can say font face, that is the font type. So it may be Arial or Garaman, something like that. This, then we can say size, that is relative, and then we can set the font color. So likewise we can use the font tag for font formatting. So let's see how can we use the font formatting. So then I create the basic structure at the beginning, all right, and then I put a header part, right, and then the title and close title. Then our title is font formatting, right? Font formatting. So here we can use font tag for font formatting, right? Okay. Then in body section, in our body section, right? Say I use say a paragraph, right? Say for example, say I'll use the font tag. And then paragraph, I use the font tag, say University of Pereira. Then even you can use this font tag in paragraph, inside the paragraph tag as well. And I close the font. Right. So in here, I save this. Say font formatting.html. Then I open this. Right here you can see University of Pereira. Then right. So this is the default size, right? So we can set a size is actually relative, right? Say 20. So yeah, you can see the size is increased to 20. Then if I say color, then I can set a color. Say I want say I put CC, red is CC, and the others are 0. Alright, then color is something like red, not exactly red, maroon, something like this. Then I can change the font type as attribute called face. Then I can say grammar. Alright, so font type is changed. If you want, you can set Arial or Times New Roman. Likewise, we can set the font color, font type, and the size. Right? Okay, so that's about the font formatting. And then there are other font formatting as well. So for example, if you want to bold particular text, you can have a tag called B for bold. Right. So likewise, there are various type of text formatting. You can have a bold, if you want italic, that is slightly slant. So even if you want, you can underline. All right. So let's see some of those tags, right? So for example, if you want bold particular text, say Peradenia, so this is default. Then I can press this. Here you can see Peradenia, right? So close this. Sorry, Peradenia. Actually, say I put a break tag, break, and it should move to the next line. Break Peradenia, like this. Then I bold this. I use the bold, and here I close the bold tag, right? Like this, right? So if you want, you can use the I copy this same text, and then I change this one as a italic. I and should be slant, something slant. All right, and then let's say if you want, you can use the underline. If you want to underline Peradenia, then I can say U, then which will underline the text called Peradenia, like this. All right. Then let's say you may see or there is a font formatting called superscript and subscript. In MS Word, you can have this, right? So for example, if you want to write H2O, or if you want to write say X square, right? So usually we select this 2 and then change this one as a subscript. And here we have to select this and then set this one as superscript. So those text formattings is also there, right? I put the break tag. All right. So let's see if I want to say H2O, H2O. Then in here the 2 should be encoded within the subscript. Sub. There's a tag called sub. So in here we can close that tag called subscript. Here, 2 is there. All right. Then we can have a tag called superscript. Soup. There's a tag called soup. SUP. Then actually the content is X square. Then the 2 should be within the tag called soup. Superscript. So, like this X square. X square. Right. So you can use these text formatting in our web page, right? So there are some other text formatting as well. For example, if you want to use this strike through, there is a tag called del, delete text. All right. So let's see. right? So if you want to use this strike, right, say HTML, I insert HTML as content of the tab, tab, something like this, right? Right. Tab. Next one is HTML abbreviation. HTML abbreviation, right? So abbreviation, or we could call acronym. All right. So this will be give the useful information to the browser, and then it will be displayed when you move the mouse pointer into the particular word. Right. So for example, if you say faculty of AHS, faculty of AHS, sometimes some people don't know what is meant by AHS. AHS means Allied Health Sciences. Allied Health Sciences, right? So we can put that words are there, right? We can use that abbreviation within the tag called ABBR abbreviation. That's the abbreviation tag, right? So let's see, right? I use the same thing here, abbreviation. Then I put the break abbreviation, right? Say I say faculty of AHS, right? Those words are there, right? Those words are there, all right? But if you don't know what's meant by AHS, right? So we can use that code abbreviation tag, something like this, right? Right? Faculty of AHS. So in here we can put that abbreviation AB within the tag called ABBR abbreviation. Then here we can say title, right? Like health sciences. Then I close that abbreviation tag, right? ABBR. It was inauguration by something like that, right? It was inaugurated by something like that. So what I want, save this, then I refresh. Now you can see here, when you move your mouse pointer to there, right? So browser will be displayed what's meant by pages, right? So likewise, we can set the abbreviation using the abbreviation tag, right? We can use abbreviation tags, right? Okay. Now next one is links. Okay, next one is how to insert a link in our web page. All right. So we have discussed URL. So URL means Uniform Resource Locator, which is the unique address of the resource on the web. Right. That means which URL explain where is our resource, or the path of our resource, or the location of the resource. Right. So for example, a typical URL has different components or different parts, right? So this is the example for URL. This is a URL of our university website, right? And then in here we have a protocol. That means how do we access this web page? It may be HTTP or HTTPS, right? So usually in web we have used the secure protocol, which is HTTPS, right? Even HTTP is okay, but and next one is the domain name. Next one is the domain name. So if you use HTTPS, it's okay. Next one is the domain name of the server, which is www.pdn.ac.lk. and then the index page. That's the name of the resource, right? So this is example for the URL, right? So we can use this URL as an absolute path, right? So we say this is absolute path, that is the path which contain the relevant information in the uh, resource indicated by the URL, right? Then the URL is called absolute path, right? So there's another way to represent the path. It is called relative path. So let's consider that relative path later. Now let's see how can we set a link in our web page. That means we can set a link. Link means the we can set the path in our web page, so that when you click on that link or when you click on that path, it will be directed to the that relevant web resource. It may be a web page, or it may be audio file, or it may be a video file. So for the time being, I have already created a web page called say Sri Lankan universities. I put say universities, not Sri Lankan universities. So in here, in header section, I put the title universities, Sri Lankan universities, Sri Lankan universities. And then in body part, I have a heading called Sri Lankan universities, and then I put a few sorry for this, A is not there. This is used of Peradeni, and then I put break tag, used of Karam, break tag, used of Moto break, right? So I'll open this page, universities. Then I have saved that web page as a universities. Then okay, so this is my web page, Sri Lankan universities, right? Okay, see, then what I want to do, when I click on here, that means on University of Peradeniya, it should be directed to the relevant web page. It should be directed to the relevant web page. When I click on here, it should be directed to the relevant web page. So that is called a link. Let's see how can we insert a link. Sorry. Before that, I open this. So this is our pdf.ac.lk, right? Then I copy this URL, right? Including the protocol as well. Then I paste it. Here you can see protocol is HTTP, and then this is domain name, and then by default it's directed to the index page, right? So let's see how to create a link on our web page. So there's a tag called anchor tag. That's a tag called anchor tag. All right, so this is that tag, anchor tag. So this is how we use it, anchor tag. And then here we can use the, there's attribute called href, high reference. Here we can put the URL, right? URL of our web page, and here we can put some description in text manner, or it may be image, and then we can close the anchor tag, right? So for example, let's see here, right? Actually in here, in example, we have to put the http colon slash, that's the protocol. So a anchor tag, href for hyperreference. Here we can put the URL, and later on I'll discuss what is target, and then here we can put the text. All right, so this is our text. I have already included that text. So this is that page. What I have to do, when I click on here, it should be directed to the university web, that is into this web page. I close this, right? And then I close the university website web page. Now I have only this website web page. All right, so let's see. I put say anchor tag a, and then href, and then here within double quotation I can put the URL http www.pdn.ac.lk, and then here we can put text called say University of Iran. Then I can close the anchor tab. Alright, and then I can put the break. Delete this, and then I save this. And I go to web page and refresh this. Here you can say if it is a link, it will be indicated by underline it, right? So when I move my mouse pointer, you can see that the mouse pointer, the symbol of the mouse pointer will be changed into hand. So in your web browser, right, in left hand bottom corner you can find that here in left hand bottom corner. When I move your mouse pointer there, you can see in left hand bottom corner of your web page you can find that URL www.pdn.ac.lk in left hand bottom corner. Right, so when I click on here it will be directed to the university website. Right, I click this back button. When I click on here it will be directed to the university website. Likewise I can set links for other two as well. Right, so for example I set link for the University of Colombo, that is http://www.cmb.ac.lk. That is the URL of University of Colombo website, and then I close the anchor, and then I set link for the University of Moratoa. Then that URL is http://www.mrt.ac.lk. Then here I close the anchor tag. Okay, something like this. Alright, like this. When I click on here, it will be directed to the Colombo University website. Right, I click this back button, and when I click on here, it will be directed to the University of Moratoa website. Alright, okay, likewise, I can set links on my web page. Right, actually those are URLs, so here we call those are absolute path. Okay, here I have created 3 web pages for 3 universities. So this is for University of Pennsylvania. Right, so I open the source code of that web page. Right, in here you can see in header section I have put title as UOP, and then in body section I set background color. So here I put hash symbol, so because in here the color value is represented by hexadecimal number system, so therefore I put the hash symbol, and in here I put the University of Pennsylvania as a level 1 heading, and here I have insert 2 paragraphs, and then here I have level 2 heading called faculties, and then I insert a list of faculties as a unordered list. Alright, so this is the web page. So similarly I have created a web page for University of Moratoa, and I open that source code, and then here say Moratoa as a title in header section, and here I have set the background color using hexadecimal number system, so that's why this hash is there. And then I have insert level 1 heading as a unit of Moratoa, and then here I have insert the paragraph, and then here I have insert list of faculties as a unordered list. Right, so I open that web page, this is unit of Moratoa, and then here I have created a web page for University of Colombo, and here also I have a title, and I insert Colombo as a title. Alright, and then similarly in previous web page I have a title and then 2 paragraphs, and then list of faculties as unordered list. All right, so in here I have three web pages for three universities, and then so this is web page for universities, right? I open the same source code, and then so for the time being, I save this one as a university uh, number 2.html, universities 2.html. Right. So for the time being, I remove this links. All right. I remove these links. All right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a link. All right, within this university's 2.html page in here, so that when I click on here, it should be directed to the web page that I have created. That's into this web page. Then when I click on here, it should be directed to the web page that I have created for the user.colombo. And when I click on here, it should be directed to the web page that I have created for user.motor. Okay, let's see how can we do that. It's very easy, right? So here, all the web pages are in same directory. All the web pages are in same directory. So this is the web page that I am going to create the links. For the time being, I have created my web browser. So this is the web page that I have that I am going to create links. All right. So I open the source code. All right. So with respect to this source code, the destination web page are also in the same directory, same folder. Right. So for example, when I click on here, it should be directed to the web page of Unistopera that I have created. So this is the web page that I have created for Unistopera. So all those two web pages are in same directory. Same directory. Okay, here we can create a link so that when I click on here, it will be directed to the relevant web page that I have created. So let's see how can we create. We can use the anchor tag a href, then the path. Here with respect to our university2.html web page, the path is payradhini.html because the destination web page is also in a same directory. payradhini.html. Then here we can close the anchor tag. Alright, let's see. Refresh this. Then when I click on here, it will be directed to the relevant web page, that is payradhini.html. This is called relative path. That means with respect to our source code or the web page which contain the link, the destination, this is called destination web page, because when I click on the link, it will be directed to the payradhini.html web page, that is the destination page. Destination page also available in the same directory. So for the time being, I remove these two files, and then I uh, go to up and paste those two web pages in here, Morator and Colombo. Now with respect to our university 2.html web page, my destination pages are in here, Colombo and Morator. Alright, so how can we create a link for that kind of destination? I have to come back and Colombo HTML, Morato.html. So when you set the path, so we can use the anchor tag href. Then if you want to go to the backwards, we can use 2 dot slash. Backwards means something like this, right? Now I am in here. So this is our web page. I have to go back. Then this is the destination. These are the two destination web pages. Colombo.html, Morato.html. Here I can see Colombo.html. And in here I have to close the anchor tag. Save and refresh. When I click on here, it will be directed to the relevant web page. Come back. So assume now Colombo web page is okay. Assume now Morato is available inside another folder. Say there's a folder called MRT. Assume there's a folder called MRT. Then assume this Morato web page within inside this MRT folder. Now my web page is in here, university.html. Then if I want to access morato.html web page, I have to go back and go to forward within MRT folder. Within MRT folder. So how can we set the path? Here a href, and here I have to go back to dot slash. Then once when you here I take these two window. Now I'm in here university2.html. So this is that source code. Then when I put 2 dot, it's go to the backward. Alright. Then I have to go to forward, that is into the MRT folder. Then I say MRT slash, go to MRT, and here morato.html. Alright. Then I refresh this. When I click on here, it's directed to the relevant web page. So this is called relative web page, relative path. So if you want, I can here that I can explain another way around about this folder structure, these paths, right? So now I'm in IT3 Note 1 folder. I use this scenario. Say I use this hierarchy model to explain this, right? So I have IT3 Note 1, that is the root folder, and inside that I have day 2 and day 3. So inside day 3 I have a folder called links, and then I have a folder called MRT. So inside links I have cities to.html, and for the time being I concern I concern only the web page which is relative to our example. So in day 3 folder, within inside day 3 folder we have folder called links, and then we have a file called colombo.html, and inside MRT folder we have web page called mrt.html. Okay, I deleted these three. So this is the folder structure that we have. All right, so this is the folder structure that we have. IT3.1 is here. Then we have two folders, day 2 and day 3. Then within the day 3 folder we have a file called colombo.html, and in there we have two folders inside day 3 folder, links and MRT. Within the links folder we have a file called universities2.html. Within MRT folder we have a file called morato.html. Now my links are available in this file. Then if I want to create a link for Colombo, so this is folder. I have to go upward and we can find colombo.html. If I want to go to the mono2html, I have to go upward, that is links, and we have to go forward, there mrt folder, and inside the mrt we have mono2.html file, something like this. Yeah, so this is university2.html, that is the file that we have, this one, right? Let's see, yellow color. All right, so this is also yellow color. Then I set yellow as a web page. Then these are the folders. Then the file called pair.html is in same folder, that is inside links. Inside links, I have a file called para.html, right? That is a web page. Then now currently I'm in this file here, universities2.html. Then when I set path for para.html, I can set the path as it is, right? Because both files are in same folder called links. But when I set path for colombo.html, which is in upside, or we have to go backward from the one up for links folder here. Therefore, if you want to go back, I have to put two dot and column.html. Next one is mono2. That is, we have to go back. That is in here. Now I'm in links folder. Go back means in here. Then go forward to the MRT folder. MRT should be simple. MRT, and inside there we have file called mono2. So now if I have a file called, say, in here in day2 folder, say I have a file called, say, this one, first web page. This is our first web page. This one, first web page, which is in day2 folder, right? First web page.html, which is in day2 folder. All right, I set this one as yellow color. Okay, now if I want to set path, set links for a first web page.html page within this universities2.html file, how can we set? I have to go backward. Now I'm in links folder because this file is in links folder. Universities2.html is in links folder. If I go back, then I'm in day3 folder. If I go back again, then I'm in IT301 folder. Then I have to go to the forward, then day2 folder. Then inside day2 folder, I can find first web page. So how can we say first web page? So that is our text. That's our label for link. Then how can I set the path? href, and within double quotation I have, now I'm in universities.html file, that is in here, that is in links folder. If I go back, then in folder structure, now I am in here, universities links folder, here universities to 2.html. If I go back, then I am in day3 folder here. If I go back again, then IT301 folder. Then I have to go backwards twice. Then go to forward through day2. Then I can find first web page. How can I represent it? One back, then day3, another back, that is IT301. Then I have to go forward day2. Within day2 folder, I have first web page.html. Let's see, is it working? So when I click on here, it will be directed to the relevant web page. So that is called relative path. Relative path. So if I say what is absolute path in here, if I say, so this is the absolute path with respect to this computer, that is in C drive, within users folder, within admin folder, in desktop, IT3.1, inside day2 folder, I can find first web page.html file. So that is called absolute path. Here, this one. So this is absolute path for first web page, right? So this is absolute path, right? So this is absolute path, right? If you set the absolute path, actually within day2 folder, we can find first web page.html. This is absolute path. If I set this one as a link, then a href colon, this is absolute path. Right, this is one of the absolute path representation for, this is the actually not one of, this is the absolute path for first web page. So this is relative path, this is absolute path, this is relative path. So if you want, you can use this absolute path, or if you want, you can use relative path. So this is absolute path for this first web page.html. This is the relative path for first web page.html respect to this universities.2.html web page respect to here. So even if you use the absolute path or relative path, both are working. Right, we paste this. When I click, so this is relative path. So this is absolute path link. All right, but it's better to use relative path method because once if you move this folder, once if you move this IT3.1 folder into anywhere else, then absolute path will be changed, right? But the relative path is preserved. All right, so it's better to use the relative path when you use when you set links in HTML web page. All right, and then one more things, that means when you set the links in HTML web page, so we can have an attribute called target. That means when you click on the link, the destination page will be open in VR, right? So usually when I click on the link here, when I click on here, it will be open in the same tab. It will be open in the same tab, right? If you want, you can change this target. That means where this destination file will be open. There's an attribute called target. So by default, it's self. Default target is self. That is here. Self means same tag. If you want, you can set say blank. Blank. All right. Now when I click on him here, it will be open in a blank tag or new tab. Here, when I click on here, it will be open in new tab. But in here, when I click on the second one, it will be open in same tab. So that is called a target. Target. A target can be the same page, a same tab, or in a new tab. In new tab of the web browser. And later on, we can set the parent and the top of the top as a target. So I'll explain those two in next lesson called frame. Okay, so this is end of our lesson number 3. So you can practice all those things and try to do these things with your own, right? And okay, thank you very much.